Every year I come up with a word to kind of help guide me through the year. This year it was relentless. And I started thinking about this word of just relentless, that no matter what happens, I still go. This word kind of drives me. But when I started really thinking about it, I thought about my dad, because he was a perfect example of this relentless attitude. I look at it just as physical, limitations that I thought it was. As he had one leg. He lost it on a motorcycle before I was born. He had arthritis all over. He was always hurting. He had so many kidney stones, I just can't even count how many times. He had an eye issue where he couldn't see very good at all. He had a vertebrae neck issue, and when they fixed that, they paralyzed his vocal cords where he really couldn't talk that well. He was at work one day, and on a construction site, he tripped and fell and pulled his leg out of his hip and ended up having double hip surgeries. And then he kept on. He fought us to try to go to work every day, and he never looked at this as a disadvantage. He just never did. Whether he felt good that day or if he was hurting, he showed up. And I'm sitting there thinking about my life, how, when I get out of bed sometimes, I'm like, I just don't feel that good. My head hurts a little bit. I boo-hoo and cry a little bit. But then I think about my dad with his relentless attitude. He had to wake up with arthritis. He had to wake up with one leg. He just couldn't spring out of bed. He had to put his artificial leg on. And I just think about all this little mess that I think about that holds me back. And then I think about him and the word relentless and how he kept on going. When he messed his neck up and he couldn't see, he still showed up every day to work. We had to drive him to work because he was just not going to sit around the house and feel sorry for himself. He was still out in the community. He had his mom drive his '68 Mustang to all these car shows. He would bum rides no matter what because he was not going to be held down by his physical limabilities. So the next time you just feel down and out and just doesn't feel like you want to get up out of bed, I want you to think of my dad. Think of his relentless attitude. And he enjoyed his life because of it.